I can't keep going. Welcome into the 4th and 11 show. I'm your host, Jacob Steiner, here for today. Oh, what a rough weekend. What a rough start to the weekend. What a rough Mother's Day. At least I had the Astros to, help me out a little bit, bail me out as they just cleaned out the Rangers on Mother's Day. A huge win for them. They move further up in that seeding. Hopefully they can get it done in Globe Life this season, but we'll keep our heads up for that. On the other side of Houston, not very many happy faces in the NBA side of things as the Rockets go down in Game 6. You would have thought, well, hey, man, Rockets had a chance. No Kevin Durant. Definitely had the momentum in Game 4, or going after Game 4, and then going into Game 5, coming back, and then what the hell just happened? Just out of nowhere, Steph Curry gets hot finally, and there goes the Rockets' hopes of winning a championship this year. Dashed and finaled and whatever you want to call it. Man, Rockets did not look prepared. They lose 118-113, obviously with no Kevin Durant. Can the Warriors ever be beaten without Kevin Durant? They beat probably the second toughest team in that Western Conference. And they played very, very well. Give the Warriors some props because they're most likely going to sweep the Portland Trailblazers, and I'm saying that mostly because I hope I jinx it, because dang, would that be sweet if the Portland Trailblazers. Yeah, we're not gonna flip my words around, but we'll get into all the NBA games for today and the amazing way the refs just. I'm going to get into it. First off, I want to start out by saying happy birthday to Mike Bibby and Dennis Rodman. Happy birthday. Not a great day to have a birthday. Monday, right after Mother's Day. But hey, hope you all had a great Mother's Day. I obviously did. Spend time with my mom. I hope that y'all did as well. And I hope that she's grateful for it. And I hope that, every day could be Mother's Day, because then we'd be asking for those days off, and we'd buy thousands of cards a year. But getting past all this, we start out with the Warriors and the Rockets. Obviously, Friday night was not a good night if you're in Houston. I mean, unless you watch the Astros to keep your mind off of what the Rockets were doing terribly. The Rockets were in this game throughout. They were tied, halftime. They were close right there in the third quarter. I think they were in the lead in the third quarter as well. I mean, they were tight-knit with, both, I'm screwing up. They were tight-knit with the Warriors all throughout that game, but it came down to the fact that the Rockets just could not pull it out in the end. Obviously, without, they weren't really without anyone. Warriors without Kevin Durant still pulled through, still played like they should have, and man, Steph Curry 11 for 11 from the free throw line. And I want to get into this. I don't want to do a Monday rant today because I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk about it because I talked about the refs the other day. And people are going to be going, oh, you're a Rockets fan. You're obviously going to not like the calls. I liked a few of those calls. I liked a few of, hey, you got to let them play. You missed the call on that end. You missed the call on this end. We did have a time to where I think it was Mark Jackson or Stan Van Gundy was like, oh, they're letting him play. Yeah, they're letting him play. That's what I like. A little bit of contact is fine. But the Rockets got screwed in the final few minutes. A few of those calls should have gone the other way and should have been this game a lot closer. It should have been tied going into the final few seconds instead of the Warriors up to with the Rockets trying to figure out if they want to foul or do they want to play out the shot clock. But most of those calls really hurt the Rockets. I obviously felt the, just pain and gruesome hiding under my blanket, just kind of holding my breath like, oh, please don't let this be the final season. Just give us, like Steph Curry just missing one free throw out of the millions that he shot over the year. Just give us one free throw. But they didn't. Rockets, it's not looking good for y'all. I thought, hey, without Kevin Durant, this is going to be what's going to look like over the next few years. Well, if that's the way it's going to look like over the next few years, without Kevin Durant in a Warriors uniform and a West wide open, it still doesn't look good for any NBA team. Steph Curry unleashing the pain in that one, 33 points. Klay Thompson with 27. Andre Iguodala had 17 points and 5 for 8 from 3. Never would have ever thought in this playoff series or in Andre Iguodala's old age, thought I'd never say that. But he played 38 really strong minutes. Should have sent him to the free throw line, though, for 2. But, hey, they didn't want to give it into Draymond or to Andre Iguodala. They wanted to give it into Steph or Klay Thompson. And, man, the Rockets also can't box out. Kevon Looney with 14 points. If you're an NBA fan, you obviously didn't like most of those calls at the end. If you're an NBA fan and you're like me and you praise fundamentals and all this, rebounding, you were getting pissed at what the Rockets were doing. If the Rockets had Trevor Ariza, I think this series would have been over. Or if the Rockets had Luka Montebutte. If the Rockets had Kenneth Faried in Game 5, that game would have been over, and it would have been in the Rockets' hand. I don't have inside access on what they had with Kenneth Faried. Obviously, he was inactive. Wasn't playing. He didn't play in Game 6 either, and you're still questioning. Everyone's questioning, where the hell is Kenneth Faried? Where was he? Where can we, are we going to... I don't know. But the Rockets definitely needed Kenneth Faried. They obviously need a bigger 3 to go on to next year. And, I hate when people say this is the Rockets' championship window closing, because it's not. It's not. You realize that they have James Harden, he's 30. Chris Paul, I think he's like 34 now, 35 almost. Michael Jordan, and I like how the Rockets owner said Michael Jordan didn't win his first championship until he was 30. LeBron James struggled until he was about 28, 29. A lot of these guys have struggled until their later parts. Hakeem Olajuwon didn't win a championship until he was 30. And it's not going to happen immediately when you're young. They've got to go through these growing pains, and they've got to go through all this. Obviously, a lot of growing pains. 5 straight years of just basically poor executed basketball. You start out with the Dwight Howard, nothing goes well with him. Then you go to Chris Paul, and it's 2 straight years of just getting knocked out by the Warriors, and you came close both times. This is not the end. You have to push at the end. James Harden, Game 5, he did not shoot a basket in the last 5 or 6 minutes. You got to do better than that. 1 field goal or no field goals in the last 6 or 7 minutes is not going to cut it. When you're one of the best players on that team and you're the best scorer, you get praised every single night. You're the best scorer in the NBA, and you take 1 shot. No, I'm sorry. I keep saying 1 shot. 0 shots in the last 7 minutes. That's not going to cut it. That's going to be an automatic elimination. And then you come into the next game and you put up 35, and Chris Paul puts up 27, and Clint Capella finally gets in the double digits, and you still lose, it's because you're just not getting the boards. You're going one shot and out. You were 6 for 15 from 3. You're shooting one and going back down the court and letting Steph Curry make another 3. When you go up 7, that's when you keep pushing it. You keep pushing the glass so you can keep winning. The Warriors were down on their last luck, and Kevon Looney, he had 4 offensive rebounds, and he also had 14 points. He gets the boards. He goes after it. He sees his team's down by 7, or by 2, or by 3, or up by 3, or up by 4, and he keeps pushing. Andre Iguodala, 1 offensive rebound. Draymond Green, 2 offensive rebounds. Jordan Bell, 1 offensive rebound. Repko, 1 offensive rebound. Shaun Livingston, 1 offensive rebound. That's a whole team, a whole bunch of offensive rebounds. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 offensive rebounds in that game. 10 offensive rebounds, 10 times 2 is 20. So 20 points off of offensive rebounds. Unless they're going for 3. And I need to count that, and I didn't realize that. I didn't look at that. But we'll just say 20 offensive points just off of offensive rebounds. I mean, and you lose by 3. You were up by 7. You had the clear opportunity of winning this dang basketball game, but you did not box out. The Warriors were down by their end of the heels. All they had was Shaun Livingston and Kevon Looney off the bench. Andrew Bogut, 0 points. Draymond Green, 8 points. When you see those 2 stats, and you see those 2, you immediately push and you say, yes, we got this. Because you have Eric freaking Gordon, Clint Capella, James Harden, Chris Paul, all on the same floor, all healthy, all shooting the ball very well in the last few games, and you just can't do it. You can't pull it together, and you can't just say, hey, what? Excuse me. You did not deserve this championship. Most stupidest crap I have ever seen. If I'm Mike D'Antoni or James Harden or Chris Paul, I would fire myself. That was the worst showing I've ever seen. PJ Tucker, you're perfectly fine. I'm not talking about you. When you put up 35, your 2 best players put up basically 30 points, you basically automatically win. And people are going to be saying that, against the Warriors, two players put up 30 points. Yeah, that's not an automatic win against the Warriors. I know it's not. But without Kevin Durant, it is. Without Draymond Green doing the things that he should be doing, it's an automatic win. At least it should be. When we're sitting here talking about all this crap, the Warriors shot at 49%. The Rockets shot at 47%. The Rockets shot it better from 3. But we're still sitting here saying, what in the world did the Rockets do? Everyone in Houston's like, what? The Warriors fans are like, the Rockets suck. Can we get someone else in the playoffs? No. Because the Rockets will come back next year, and they'll try to face them again. And if they do the exact same thing, last year was over 27 from 3. This year it's just not trying hard enough. I mean, for God's sake, man, you don't have Kevin Durant. That's the kryptonite, and you just don't get it done. You don't. You don't need Trevor Ariza because he doesn't need to guard Kevin Durant. He doesn't need to do that. You don't need Luka Bonute because he doesn't need to guard Kevin Durant. You need Kenneth for freaking Fareed because no one can grab a freaking rebound except for PJ Tucker and Clint Capella. I mean, Nene didn't play that much. Nene had, 9 minutes. I mean, come the freak on. Like, this is just outrageously stupid. The Rockets would have won that series if they had DeMarcus Cousins or Joel Embiid. If they had anyone in the middle, and I love Clint Capella. I'm not dogging on him. I mean, he had 10 rebounds. 6 of them offensive. He was getting after the buckets. He was going for the rim. But how many of those offensive rebounds went for points? And how many of those passes were right on the money? I see here Kenneth Fareed is in the lineup, did not play, coach's decision. Kenneth Fareed has just posted up a double-double all year long with y'all. And when it comes down to the point of, we need a guy that fits Kenneth Fareed's stature, he's not there. He's not. And we beg the question still to this day of will the Rockets beat the Warriors even after Kevin Durant leaves? That is a very good question. And one that will be answered when we know Kevin Durant has left the Warriors. But for now, the Warriors and the Portland Trailblazers, the team that faced in the other, another easy Western Conference team that they get to beat. Because the Warriors, only true kryptonite since the Spurs kind of fell apart and the old Oklahoma City team fell apart. I'm talking about the Oklahoma City team with Kevin Durant. Fell apart. Their only true kryptonite right now is the Rockets. And it used to be the Cavs. Now it's the Bucks. But that's their only true kryptonite. Only 2 teams. And we're sitting here with one already gone. Without Kevin Durant, we're saying, well, this team doesn't need Kevin Durant. They can beat the Bucks. They can beat the Rockets. They can beat anyone they so dang please. I mean, seriously, this is just outrageously terrible to watch. And, I wish it would end soon. I miss basketball, the days of Dennis Rodman and Michael Jordan, where it took an all-star Hall of Famer type guy, one of them, and a role player or a guy that makes it to the Hall of Fame if he was playing with you. And I'm talking about Kevin McHale, we're not talking about the Lakers. Lakers have plenty of guys. We're talking about Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's a great player. But if you take a look, where would he be without Michael Jordan? And where would Michael Jordan be without Scottie Pippen? And nowadays, people cannot win without another team. We're talking about a LeBron James who would have thrived in the 90s and the 80s just by his sheer stature of size. And he cannot do it on his own this year. The Lakers did not make it to the championship. He did not have a supporting cast to win. If Steph Curry was alone on his own team, like if he went to the NBA's Cleveland Browns of the past decade, he would have never won a championship. We wouldn't be talking about Steph Curry. Because then they trade the rights for him from Milwaukee for someone else. Yeah, okay, so If he went to Milwaukee, we wouldn't be talking about it. He probably would have won now with Giannis. Well, maybe not because he didn't have a really good coach up there. He had Jason Kidd. But now he would because he's got Mike Budenholzer. But we're talking here. I wish we were back at the days to where we didn't need super teams. The Portland Trailblazers are looking like they could just fall apart every single game against the Warriors because they only have CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. You don't have a Hall of Famer or a third-time Hall of Famer. We thank you, LeBron James, for going to Miami now because he went to Miami and he started the Warriors. He started the Spurs. He started the Rockets. He started the Oklahoma City Thunder. He started the Cavs from a few years ago. He's starting what's going to come this offseason. He started the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics are having to draft 20,000 great players and keep them all because they cannot compete with just one All-Star with the Warriors. The Bucks are surprisingly one of the only ones out here that just grab a whole bunch of role players and put them with two or one really great player and one good player, a Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen-esque. But the Bucks and Toronto will have a good time. Those are two teams that I don't have any problem with because they're not filled with superstars. They do have superstars on there. Kyle Lowry, he's not really a superstar. We can't really talk about him. But he's a good player. He's Scottie Pippen. Kawhi Leonard, a great player. He's a Michael Jordan. There's two players. Are you going to call him Marc Gasol? He's a great player, but he's not. He's at that age now. He's kind of like the Dennis Rodman to everyone else, but it's okay. It's okay. Hopefully nowadays, people like CJ McCollum who called out Kevin Durant, who said, "Yeah, I don't want to join super teams." But that's the only way right now that you can win in the NBA is the fact that you need a company of 5 super players to take down the Warriors. Because the Rockets have Eric Gordon, who is a Scottie Pippen, and they have 2 Michael Jordans, and a pretty close another Scottie Pippen, and they cannot beat the Warriors healthy. Man, you're just kind of praying on dead luck. You're kind of hoping that the Bucks scare the Warriors because it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. I'm done talking about that. Trailblazers beat the Nuggets. What a Mother's Day gift Portland could give. Sadly, the Denver Nuggets had a big chance. Couldn't finish it out. It looked like they were going to do it. Brought the Portland Trailblazers down to their last leg, and they couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. Pretty bad for them. 76ers, the worst way to go out, man. The worst way possible. We'll see what happens with the 76ers if they could keep all their players together and maybe give Ben Simmons a shot. But Philadelphia going down on a buzzer beater in Game 7 is not the way you want to go out. But that is probably the greatest way an NBA fan who hates both of those teams to kind of go out. But Well, the future of the NBA, we'll leave it there. But the future of the NBA starts tomorrow night, as the NBA draft lottery begins at, I think, 8:30 on ESPN. So if you're ready for it, because I am. It's just kind of like the NHL. I mean, I might just, after this week's over, and I come back after my break, it's all baseball probably. It's all baseball because I'm not going to really care about anything else. It's most likely going to be all a heck load of baseball. But NBA needs to get a challenge play rule or challenge foul rule or any of this crap because I'm tired of watching the refs make bad calls and people on either side saying, oh, are they for the Warriors or are they going for the Rockets? Because it really doesn't matter in the long run right now because the Warriors have won. They moved on. The Rockets have moved on to the offseason. They're recruiting just as much as the Warriors are as well. And we also haven't seen this as well. We've been talking about, I know the Rockets are above salary cap, but Kevin Durant, friends with James Harden. I don't know about Chris Paul, but he was on Team USA. Hey, Kevin Durant. But who knows where he'll go. I'll talk about that in later runs. But it's a rough day. It's a rough day for me to get back on this show and not talk about a Game 7. I would have been happy on this show if I got to talk about a Game 7. And if the Rockets lost that Game 7, I would have been fine with it because they forced a Game 7 and I got to watch it while eating barbecue on Mother's Day. That's what I wanted to see. But no, did I not get to see it? No, I did not. Did I get to see 2 other good Game 7s? Yes, I did. Did I get to see the Astros and other baseball teams? Yes, I did. So I'm happy with that. But in the long run, Houston, I would have been more happy with a Game 7. So, got it last year. Can't be always happy. But hopefully we'll be better next year. So, I'll be here tomorrow. It's a sad, shed a tear day at the office as the Rockets do not move on. The Stars do not move on. The Knights don't move on. And still in my brain. Still the fact that we could be that stupid. As the Rockets lose 118-113, 76ers lose 90-92, and Trailblazers win 100-96. On tomorrow, as I said, the draft lottery. Go and watch that. Have fun. Have a good rest of your day. This has been the 4th and 11 show.